Some years ago, I was reading a profound and beautiful teaching from my lineage on the creation, the sacred science, the creation of the physical human body, the inflow of divine consciousness into the physical human form, and how that radiates out, flows out into the physical body and into our experience of life through the central nervous system. And as a craniosacral therapist, oh my gosh, this teaching is so detailed, so sublime, so beyond anything I've ever read before. I mean, my first inspiration was just to share it, just to write it down and share it as is. And I realized just as I read deeper and deeper into this text that, you know, this piece of information about the physical body and how it's created and how it interfaces with consciousness and the origin and the subtlety of the origins of all of that was just a small part of a vast, vast text, vast scripture that I've been reading with a group for about 5 years. And I'm like, I don't think this can be shared out of context in exactly this way. And maybe it wasn't even meant to be. But I've been on fire with it. It's been inspiring. It's been informing my work actually for decades, even before that. Aspects of this teaching that I'd already come into relationship with have been inspiring my work since the beginning. And I just felt this morning like I wanted to put some of it down at least as a contemplation for those of you who are craniosacral therapists that really dance that vastness in the still point, in the point where we go into the still place between the fluctuating waves, between the fluctuating rhythms, that place that is boundaryless, that is infinite, that is vast, where the mind literally stops and we're just in the presence of the being of our clients and of existence itself. And just to offer this contemplation, if it's useful and relevant for you, which is that from this teaching, we are given to understand the downflow of divine consciousness, cosmic consciousness, through the crown center, the top of the head, so we're talking about the energy chakra centers that are situated in the spine. And of course, in craniosacral therapy, we are working largely with the fluidic movement that originates in the central nervous system and the brain and the spine, and how that radiates out into the physical. Well, in this more subtle realm, we're learning that consciousness, or cosmic consciousness itself, comes down through the crown center, but life force energy comes in through the medulla, which reflexes by polarity, 6th chakra center, reflexes to the point between the eyebrows, or the spiritual eye. And that this life force energy radiates out through the central nervous system by way of coming down through the chakras. And through the chakras, the spinal plexuses, the spinal energy centers, out into the central nervous system, out into sensory perception, out into our experience of life through sensory perception and awareness. And that the return of consciousness is a withdrawing of our sensory awareness away from all of our perceptions of the outer world and going inward into the inner being and back into the central nervous system held within the spine. Again, in craniosacral therapy, one of our primary holds is the craniosacral hold, where we hold the entire central nervous system. And within that hold, we're not only holding the physical spine, we're not only holding the fluidic information, the fluidic body of the craniosacral system, we are also literally holding the energy centers of the chakras. And as we go inward and the attention and the conscious awareness and silence of our client goes inward in dynamic relationship to our presence and our holding space, and in the case of hands-on craniosacral, the physical contact with the spine and the chakra centers, but even at the distance and energetic level, we hold the same field, profoundly so. We are entering into a sacred pathway that is literally the return of consciousness to the divine through the energy centers of the spine. So this work is so holy. And we can meet it wherever we feel called. We can meet it very much at the physical level and do beautiful work, and we do. And particularly the biomechanical elements of the work. And there's times where the body is just shouting, and we have to meet the body where it's calling for support. So we can very much meet at the physical level. And the physical structures may be calling for support at the level of intuitive contact and holding space for the fluidic movement and the settling of the craniosacral rhythm. But when we go into still point, we are on holy ground. We are on holy ground. We are in that place between tides. We are in the place of beingness where the arising of grace is palpable. So I just want to offer some initial reflections on this today. Just sending so much love, so much blessings, and just I have been inspired by this work at the deepest level since I first came across it, and in large part it is because it's such a rare thing in this world for us to have an active therapeutic healing interface, conscious interface between the physical body, the subtle fluidic body, the mind, the emotions, and the being. And in craniosacral we have that. It's an incredible blessing. So I think that's what I want to share for today. Maybe we'll explore some more in the future. And just sending so much love. Aloha. Namaste.